Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me a quick favor. If you're coming on, joining us live, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know your boy, Ramon Preston, my squad. We're live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are already rejoicing. We're already glad in it. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about what real business success requires. Some people have done everything that they possibly could in their lives to achieve real business success. I have talked to countless individuals who are W-2 employees. I've talked to countless entrepreneurs. I've talked to countless business owners and even ministry leaders, many of which have done everything that they possibly could to create some level of business success. And unfortunately, a lot of them have failed because they did not have any formulas, they did not have any frameworks, or for lack of another way of saying it, they didn't have a blueprint to actually execute what they wanted to achieve in their businesses at the highest level. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about what real business success requires. And I'll share with you a couple things that if you take what I share with you and you apply it to your life, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna produce results as long as you take what I'm giving to you and you apply it to your life. So before we get into today's show, again, I want you to hit the like button, hit the share button. I want you to tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know that Ramon Preston, my squad, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And I want you to put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from, who you represent. Let me know who you represent and where you're watching us live from. Just put in the comments what city you're watching the show from today. I really appreciate all of you for supporting the Ramon Preston Show. Thank you all for being a part of our community, whether you're a part of our business community or ministry community. I just want you to know I appreciate your love, your prayers, and I definitely appreciate your support. If you are a member of our coaching mentorship program, if you are a student in our university, if you are enrolled in any course, any program, or if we are working with you as a client with any of our services, I want you to know that I sincerely appreciate you trusting my team and I to work with you to help you take your personal, professional, and financial life to the next level. So today, I want to talk to you about what real business success requires. So if you've ever asked yourself, like, what is it going to take for me to be successful in my personal life, in my professional life, in my financial life? Maybe you're in ministry, in your business, whatever the area is, like, what is it going to take? Now, I'm using the word business because no matter what area of life you want to see success in, I guarantee you that area has a business component to it. So if it's your marriage has a business component. If it's being a parent or being a student or being an employee or being a community leader, whatever the thing is that you are intending to succeed in, there is a business element to it. And so I'm just generalizing this conversation, even though I prioritize a lot of what I teach to entrepreneurs because that's what I am. I know how hard it has been for me as an entrepreneur for 20 years, and I want to make that path to prosperity. I want to make that process to success as easy as I possibly can. So what does real business success requires? I'm going to get right into it. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write down what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'll circle back around and I'll make sure that you have all this information. But real business success requires, number one, education and training. do not take what I'm saying lightly. Okay? Real business success. I don't care what nobody tell you. Real business success requires education and training. I don't want you to take what I'm sharing with you lightly. Real business success requires education and training. Okay? Now, when I say education and training, I want you to understand what I mean by that. Okay? What I mean by education and training is information. What I mean by education and training is knowledge. What I mean by education and training is, listen to this, mindset and skill set development. I can almost guarantee, if not promise you, that you will never experience real business success, especially as an entrepreneur. I don't even think you can experience it in ministry, in nonprofit, in a career, even on a job. It's just like impossible for you to think that you can experience any level of success in business, in finances, or in anything if you do not have the proper education and training. All right? And when I say education and training, what am I referring to? I'm referring to you got to have the right information. You got to be getting the right info. You can't just be, I'm telling you, I am so grateful to God because I was just on the phone a few minutes ago with someone who was on our university training platform. They were in the process of purchasing one of our programs, and they just wanted to call in and verify what they were purchasing was the right thing. And while I was on the phone with the young lady, she started telling me, she was like, listen, I've watched your videos. I'm always on YouTube. You know, I'm always, you know, searching on the internet, and I'm browsing and following people on social media. She says, but I know it's only so much information I'm going to get. It's only so much data I'm going to acquire until I have to lean in and dig deeper into certain areas of information so that I can get what I actually need. All right. So this was an individual. I don't even know them personally. Just met them today. But this individual has an understanding of the power of education and training. This is like the first thing that your business success requires, education and training. All right. And again, if you just browsing the internet, if you just watching the Ramon Preston Show and you following other internet influencers and you gathering data and pieces of information from here and there, and you think you're going to put this almanac or this encyclopedia of a perfect situation for your business together, it don't work like that. Okay. So education and training is about you getting the right information. Education and training is about you getting the right knowledge and you having mindset and skill set development. Mindset and skill set development. Most people that I know who even get information and knowledge, when they don't put that information and knowledge to practice through mindset and skill set development, they never really see the results of the information and knowledge that they have. I guarantee you know at least one person you talk to, and every time you talk to them, they got so much information. They got so much knowledge. They got the game. They know everything about whatever the thing is that they talking about, but they don't have the results of the thing that they have information and knowledge about in their life. Why don't they have the results? I know people who know a whole lot about money, but they ain't got no money. I know people who know a whole lot about business, but they don't have a successful business. I know people who know a whole lot about real estate, but they don't have any real estate. In other words, they have the information right, they have the knowledge right, but they do not have a mindset and skill set that is developed to produce the results. Okay? So your business success, your financial success, your professional success, it requires education and training, all right? Meaning that, listen to this, it requires specialized information and knowledge that develops your mindset and skill set on certain principles and practices for success. And so I don't want you to just think about education and knowledge from the perspective, education and training rather, just from the perspective of information and knowledge. So in order for you to really get accomplished when it comes to education and training, it begins with, like, the gateway to education and training is information and knowledge. But it has to be specific. See, I teach my team this. My staff, everybody that works for my company, they are required to get educated and trained. Even when I was pastoring my church for 12 and a half years, and my wife, she still implements a lot of those principles and practices, but especially when I was pastoring my church full time and I had to wake up every day and lead my church and my ministry, I was very adamant about education and training. Everyone who worked in my ministry had to be educated and trained in the thing that they wanted to operate on, whatever the thing was that they wanted to operate on, whether it was music, whether it was sound, whether it was engineering, whether it was outreach, whether it was with the children, whether it was with praise dancing, whatever it was, they needed to be educated and trained. And the gateway to education and training is information and knowledge. So that means I've got to make a decision that there's a certain specific area of my life that I want change in. This is how you do it. You make a decision that, okay, in my money, I want change. Let's say if that's where you want change. If you want change in your money, you want to make more money. You want to have more money. You want financial freedom. Or maybe you want to see your business successful. You want to work full time in your business. You want your business to be able to pay you. You want to be able to afford to hire people. Okay, that's what you want to have. That's the success you want to see. Okay, so where do you begin? You begin by getting information and knowledge in the area of money, in the area of business. Like, you shouldn't be reading books about stuff that don't relate to money and business if you want success in money and business. Okay? You should be reading books, you should be studying, you should be researching, you should be connecting yourself to the information and the knowledge that is specific to money and business if that's where you want to see success in. Okay? The information and knowledge becomes the gateway. It becomes the gateway. It just gets to have had purchased a ticket. And so when you get to the door of the event or to the gate of the event, they're going to ask you for a ticket, right? You give them the ticket. Information and knowledge is just the ticket to get you in the game. It's just to get you in the gate. Once you get in the gate of financial freedom, business success, entrepreneurship with information and knowledge, then you start developing your mindset and your skill set. This is why most people never really see success in their business and in their money, because they don't really get educated and trained. They get a little bit of knowledge, they get a little bit of information, and they stop. Or they get a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of information, and they think that they got it, but you ain't got the results, because that was the gateway. Your mindset and your skill set has to be developed. Now, how does your mindset and skill set get developed? It gets developed because while you're educating, you're training. That's why I said education and training. Now, this is going to require you to get pieces of information and knowledge every day that continues to build your mindset, build your skill set, until they are developed. So it's like a baby. When you have a baby, I just had my son and my daughter-in-law, they just had my third grandson, Ramon Preston III, and he's 2 months old, right? And he's growing. Every time they send me videos and pictures, he's growing. He's moving around. He's moving his head now. He's looking around. He gaga goo goo. But guess what? He's being developed. But he had to come into the world first, right? This is information and knowledge. Once he came into the world, now he's got to be developed. So again, the first requirement for your success is education and training. How often should you educate and train? Daily. Daily. If you are an employee working for an entrepreneur, I can see if you just working 5 days a week. Okay? You should train just as many days as you work. Okay? So my staff, they work 5 days a week. Guess how many days they have to train? 5 days a week. I'm the entrepreneur. I'm the owner of the business. So I don't really work 5 days a week. I really work 7 days a week. So guess how many days I need to train? I need to train 7 days a week. Okay, so what am I doing 7 days a week? Well, 7 days a week, I'm gathering info. I'm getting knowledge. I'm educating myself on things relating to running a business, building a business, leading a team, products and services, scaling a business, developing a greater influence, expanding my enterprise. I got to learn all these things. Investing, wealth building. I got to continue to learn these things. Get information, get knowledge, get educated, build my mindset, build my skill set for the next level. I got to do this every day. I don't have to do a whole lot every day, but I have to do enough. So when I'm able to, a lot of the days that I sit down with my team, just like I did with them this morning, we watched one video. It was about 7 minutes. Okay? We watched one video about 7 minutes. And so what we did was we watched the video and then we took pieces of data from that video. These are takeaways. Takeaways, right? These are takeaways. So for example, if you're on Ramon Preston University, you have access to the Millionaire Blueprint because you want to be successful in your business. You want to be successful in your finances. You ain't got to learn everything on that Millionaire Blueprint overnight. But what you need to do every day is take incremental pieces of information. That could be one video, which ranges anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes it may be 9 or 10. And then you listen to that video and you take good notes so that you can have at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 really solid takeaways. And then when you get those takeaways, now you ask yourself, how can I apply that to my life today? This is education and training. Most people don't even do this. That's why they don't get nowhere. Here's my last point on education and training because it is a requirement for your business success. And I said this morning, I want to say it again. Education and training is a utility. It's not a commodity. If you think you can choose when you get educated or how much you get educated, or if in fact you even need to be educated about business and success, if you think that, I guarantee you're already failing. I guarantee even if you're not failing, you probably ain't succeeding. You probably ain't scaling. You're probably not growing because education and training is a utility. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a utility. It's not a commodity. So education and training, this is my last point. Education and training. What I just explained to you that you need to do. Understand that it is a utility. It is not a commodity. Most people think education and training is a commodity. I'm going to tell you what a commodity is. A commodity is a wallet. Your wallet, if you're a man, is a commodity. Your purse, if you're a woman, is a commodity. I mean, you don't need no wallet or no purse to make it, right? You don't need no wallet and a purse to survive. You don't need a wallet and a purse to live. It's a commodity. But guess what you do need? You need lights in your house. You need water. I mean, if you ain't got no lights and water, that's a utility bill. So you see, education and training has to become a utility to you. It has to become just as important as your lights and water. It cannot be a commodity because you're not going to do it. This is why most people don't pay for education today. So when I talk to entrepreneurs like I do all the time, my team does all the time, and they talk like, well, you know what, I'm not ready. This is not the right time. And we're talking to them about them joining programs that we offer to educate them about business, about entrepreneurship, about creative tax strategies, about systems and processes. This is what I teach in my educational programs. These are the things that I provide in my mentorship programs. And when I talk to entrepreneurs who are not willing and ready to spend money, invest money into themselves and their businesses so that they can get educated and trained, I already know they think it's a commodity. But that's why they're not doing anything. That's why they can't hire people. Their businesses can't grow. They ain't making no substantial amount of money. They're not expanding. They're not growing as a person because they think it's a commodity. It ain't no commodity. It's a utility. If you live in a house or an apartment or a condo, wherever you live at, a townhome, a trailer, wherever you live, a motel, you need lights and water where you live at. You need lights so that you can see where you're moving at. You need lights for your air, your heat. You need gas. You need water so that you can bathe and brush your teeth. These are utilities. You gotta start seeing education and training the same way. I'll be the first one to tell you, I do not have a formal education. I quit school as a teenager. I was a drug addicted criminal. I was a street thug. I was a dope boy standing on the corner doing what every dope boy in the hood does. I did that up until 20 years old, until I got saved and got clean. Okay? I didn't have a formal education. I quit school. I by the grace of God, was able to go back and get my GED. I never went to college. I don't have a formal college degree, but guess what? I have a successful organization. I got a successful church, a successful ministry with many ministries under it that are successful. I have a successful business, an enterprise. I have a multi-million-dollar organizational enterprise. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm proud, I'm humbled, I'm honored to be in this position. But how did I accomplish all this if I don't even have a high school diploma? If I don't even have a college education? If I've never really been to school for any of the things that I do and I teach people? Because I self-educated. I made that commitment over 20 years ago to God and to myself that I'm gonna be somebody. And I started as an entrepreneur when we didn't have Google, we didn't have the internet like we do, we didn't have social media. I used to go to Goodwill and purchase books for like 25 cents and 50 cents. Like one of the first books I purchased from Goodwill, I think it was 22 years ago. One of the first books I purchased 23 years ago was the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Somebody must have bought it, read it, and gave it to Goodwill. It was one of the first books that I read thoroughly about business, but it changed my life. And I realized that I could read books, I could process information, I could contain information, and I realized that I was gifted to take information and data and repurpose it to make it work for my life. And I just went on a rant. And guess what? 20 years later, millions of dollars generated from nothing later, a successful ministry and business organization later, and like hundreds and hundreds of books later, probably a couple thousand articles and, years of research, way more than 10,000 hours. Guess what happened? I'm where I am because I made education and training a utility, not a commodity. And trust me when I say this to you, or at least you gotta hear it. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want a successful business, if you're not an entrepreneur and you want a successful life, if you just want to be successful financially, you have to prioritize education and training, the right information, the right knowledge. You have to put yourself somewhere that you can sit and develop your mindset and your skill set on those things that you want to accomplish success in. Am I making sense? And it has to become a utility, not a commodity. The money that I spend every month and every year on education and training, whether it's buying books, whether it's buying courses, whether it's being mentored and coached, and whether it's going to events, number one, it's with the same people that I know can move me to my success, but it's me continuing to lean in and go as deep as I can with my mentors and with my coaches and with the information that I need to continue to succeed. Like I probably got thousands of dollars worth of courses that are just on hold that I've already paid for, that I'm just waiting to flesh through because I'm already working on other courses. And here's the good part about it, especially if you're a leader and an entrepreneur, you want your team and your people to see that you do this. See, my team, they have access to my personal university, the one that I built, Ramon Preston University, but they also have access to all of the mentorship and the information that I get from the people that I trust and that I pay tens of thousands of dollars to get information from as well. And they see what I've done. They see what I've accomplished. They understand it. So it's got to be a utility. It cannot be a commodity. So real success requires, number one, education, and it requires training. All right. Number two, real success requires what I call the 3 B's. Now, if you are in my coaching program or if you are a student in Ramon Preston University, you probably ran across this teaching that I do in depth, especially for those who I coach, because this is a part of your coaching assessment, the 3 B's. This is what your success requires. I'm going to go through it real quick. The first B is the B of your business structure. The second B is the B of your brand identity. And the third B is the B of the brand ambassador. Like, I'm telling you, it don't matter if you're a network marketer. It don't matter if you're an independent contractor. It don't matter if you're a freelancer. It don't matter if you are a business owner, if you got 20 LLCs, 501c3s, you're a preacher, you're a prophet, bishop. It don't matter who you are, what you are. These 3 B's will weigh heavily on if you are successful in your business and in your finances. These 3 B's. Why are these 3 B's important? Because you need not just any business structure, you need the right business structure. That's why I teach so heavily on the holding company concept, because I believe the holding company, like a lot of major wealthy organizations believe, I believe the holding company is a way for you to really flex and parlay and leverage everything that you possibly can that you have access to, like your intellectual property, your IP, your trademarks, your operating businesses, other assets like real estate, cars, vehicles, equipment, like all this stuff can be used as like assets to increase the overall enterprise value of your organizational enterprise if you have the right business structure. Okay, so just getting the LLC is good, That's a good starting point. But at a certain point, you want to have a holding company. At a certain point, you want to have a trust, because you really want to build something successful, but you want to build something indestructible. So last night I was on my coaching call with my mentees, and we had this real deep dive about what's going on with the banking system, with the economic system, with the currency, and with the fiat, and with crypto, and how everything is changing. But we're having this conversation, right? And we're tying all this into why we need to have the right infrastructures in place, because there's a wealth transfer that's going on right now. Experts are predicting that there are going to be trillions of dollars, and there are trillions of dollars that are being transferred right now in 2023. But here's the thing, that money ain't being transferred from person to person. Granddaddy ain't giving it to grandson. Daddy ain't giving it to mama. Mama ain't giving it to the niece or the nephew. That ain't how this wealth is being transferred. The wealth is not being transferred from person to person. That wealth is being transferred from entity to entity. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of these entities might not even be operating entities. They may be acquisition entities, which are probably holding companies, or they're tied to holding companies. I'm telling you, like 3 to 5 years from now, I already know people going to be looking at me like Nostradamus. Like, man, you were saying this stuff to us, bro. We didn't even see the writing on the wall, and you just kept saying it. Because I was talking about some of this stuff 5 years ago when I restructured my whole life, rebranded my business, reorganized my company. Like 5 years ago, I hit a whole reset button, me and my wife. And I was talking about a lot of the stuff that's going on right now 5 years ago. And I wasn't a millionaire mogul 5 years ago. I hadn't generated the millions of dollars that I've generated in the last 5 years, 5 years ago. Even though my wife and I was doing business, we were a 2-person team, we were grinding out, we were scrapping, but we was making money. We was climbing, right? But we wasn't where we are now, and what we've experienced in the last 5 years. But I was preaching this stuff to people. I was telling people in my church. I was mentoring people. I was coaching people. A lot of this stuff, I was doing it for free, and I was giving people the game. A lot of people didn't take heed. They wasn't listening to your boy. They thought, hey, he just trying to sell me a product. He just trying to shoot some game to finesse me. All right, then. Well, guess what? 5 years later and a couple $1 million later, I'm still talking the same talk and showing that what I was talking about worked. And there are a whole lot of people who still on the sidelines like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. But your business structure is critical. So if you want to guarantee success, I'm telling you that success is going to require the right business structure. The right business structure. I know how to put that together. Holding company, division, subsidiaries, okay? Then you need to think about brand identity. Why is brand identity so important? Without going too in depth, one of the reasons why brand identity is so important, because your marketing, listen to this, your marketing and your messaging is really tied to your branding. Does that make sense? Your marketing and your messaging is tied to your branding. So once you figure out the right business structure, now you as an individual, that's just a stick person, you can stand on the mountaintop of that business structure and create the right brand identity. So if you don't have a brand identity, right, and you go into the marketplace, your messaging and your marketing is really going to reflect the lack of brand identity or the fact that you have a brand identity. It's going to show up. So when you don't know what message to give the world, you don't know what business you should be promoting. Let's say if you got 5 or 6 different ideas, or you got 8 or 9 different products and services. You don't even know what message to send. You don't know how to market it because number one, you probably don't have the right structure. And number two, you don't have the right identity. So you don't even know, should I be talking about this today? Should I be talking about that tomorrow? Or how should I be talking about this and that? The 3 B's are critical: business structure, brand identity, and then brand ambassador. You have to decide who or what is going to represent the business and the brand. Let me give you a clear example of how this looks. I'm going to give you like a clear example. There's a company called Ramon Preston Enterprises. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Okay? There's a company called Ramon Preston Enterprises. I want you to see those 3 B's. Okay? Remember, you got business structure, you got brand identity, you got brand ambassador. This is like a clear example, perfect example of these 3 B's. So how does these 3 B's work? Ramon Preston Enterprises. Well, the first B is the business structure. This is actually a holding company, LLC. All right, I can check the first B box. That's a holding company, LLC. Because it is a parent company, now from a structural perspective, I can have it as an umbrella. I can have divisions and subsidiaries under it, but I can simplify a lot of my operations because this becomes the top of my funnel. My main company becomes the top of my funnel. All right, that's the first B. Okay, brand identity. How is the second B of brand identity shown in this example? Well, Ramon Preston is actually the brand. So this is the foundation of a brand. So when Ramon Preston stands at the top of the mountain of this business structure, he's able to promote a brand, which brings me to the third B, brand ambassador. Oh, Ramon Preston. So you see, I've tied my name, my image, my likeness, my personality, my core competencies. I've tied everything into those 3 B's because I know the 3 B's is required in order for you to be successful. All right. Number 3, last one. What does real business success require? Number 3, it requires what I call the S and P's. The S and P's. This is what real business success requires, the S and P's. The S and P's are the systems and the processes. So your systems are your platforms that house information, data. Your processes are the steps that you use to measure all of your activities. I'm giving you the game. Here's the good part about everything I'm sharing with you. If you want to learn all this, all you have to do is look in the description of this video. You'll see a link and you'll see a instruction with a number that you can text the word millionaire to, and my team and I can give you access to literally hundreds of videos, tutorials, documents, and forms teaching you all the ins and outs of everything that I've shared with you today and so much more for just $97 a month. So for as low as $97 a month, you could get access to this. All this information is built into my signature program. It's an online training program called the Millionaire Blueprint. I also have a millionaire mentorship program just in case you don't just want the online courses, but you also want me and my team to work with you on a regular basis through weekly coaching calls, through monthly workshops and live events that we host throughout the year to give you all the support and the accountability you need to put yourself in a position to become a millionaire. All right. So you could take a look at that if you'd like to. But this is the third requirement for real business success, the S&Ps, systems and processes. Once you build your infrastructure, you have to have the right systems and processes. Systems are really platforms. You got to have like platforms, technology that you're using to track information, to house data, all right? And then once you have the right systems, you're gonna create all of these processes, meaning that you're gonna have like the steps that you use to measure what you are putting and housing in these systems. So for example, one of your systems is going to be a sales system, okay? You got a marketing system, you have a financial system, and then you have an operational system. So let's say if you have all four of these systems, you have a sales system, marketing system, financial system, and operational system. So that means you may have a CRM, you may have something like QuickBooks, you may have some project management tool or software that you're using for your operations maybe. These are like 4 different systems that you can actually house in maybe 2 or 3 different platforms or softwares, okay? But if you have these 4 systems, now you have houses or platforms that can track your sales, your leads, your prospects, your clients, and your customers, their information so that you could contact them. All right. But once you do have a sales system, you still need a sales process. Like, what are the steps that you're going to take to actually sell a product or service to someone? You need a process for that. Okay. If you have a marketing system, that means you have a platform that houses data for everything you're doing in your marketing, how you're promoting, how you're getting attention, how you're creating awareness, how you're messaging your brand identity, right? You need a system for that, but you also need a process. You need steps to walk people through. So this is why you saw that example earlier of the funnel. They've got click funnels, they've got landing pages, lead generation processes. These are the things that you need so that when you market correctly, your marketing is probably going to lead you to sales. But you also need a financial system, because when you start making money, right? When you start making money, when you make one sale, you need a platform to track how much you spent, how much you made, how much was left, so that you can start projecting what you're anticipating to do into the future. This is where a lot of your creative tax strategies come in at. So when I talk to people, they reach out to me and they say, man, I just need some creative tax strategies. And I ask them, do you have a QuickBooks account or something similar? Well, no, I ain't got no QuickBooks account. Well, a creative tax strategy, how's that going to benefit you? We don't even know where you at in terms of income and expenses and free cash flow. We don't know how much money you made, how much you had left, how much real cash was deposited. We don't know how to forecast or project because you ain't got no doggone system and you can't put a process together. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with your operations. Your operations is the same way. You need a platform to house all the things that you're doing as a boss. If you got a virtual assistant, how are you tracking their activities? How can you measure the impact of their activities? What I'm telling you, I do every day. And I'm learning every day more and more how to do this better and better so that I can continue to scale my business. But at least I have the basis of these things, these principles and practices in the form of courses, in the form of coaching and mentorship, so that I can help individuals like you, whether you work on a job, whether you're an independent contractor in the middle, network marketer, or a legitimate business owner. So I hope today you got some value from what I shared with you. Again, those were like 3 things that I know are required for real business success. Education and training, the 3 B's, and systems and processes. And so again, if you would like access to all the courses and educational training programs that I have available with this information so that you can learn how to really put a legitimate business enterprise together with systems and processes and really be successful so that you can become financially free and be a blessing to your family and to your community. If you want that information, it ain't even if you want it. I don't even know why I keep saying if you want it. Like, it's ridiculous of me to even say if you want it. It ain't no if you want it. You need it. It is a utility. There is no reason why. What I should be saying is because you've decided that I am the person you need it from, you just have to reach out to me, okay? I want you to text the word millionaire to me because that's what I want you to be anyway. Text the word millionaire to me. Text the word millionaire to 678-276-8253. 678-276-8253. So here's what we're going to do. When you text the word millionaire to that number, here's what we're going to do. We'll take a few minutes over the phone to assess your personal, your professional, your financial situation. Maybe you're just trying to figure out, should you start a holding company? Maybe you have some LLCs. You're trying to figure out how do you restructure them. Maybe you're making money in your business, but you're trying to figure out how do you implement creative tax strategies, or maybe you're trying to figure out how do you integrate the right systems and processes. Maybe you want to build a brand and you just want to make sure that you have your branding and your marketing and messaging correct. Listen, we have all this training, all this education, mentoring and coaching to show you the foundation of all this, okay? We'll take a few minutes over the phone and talk with you about that, and then we can share with you what program that we have that best fits you. Because if you are a do-it-yourselfer and you just need access to the courses, to the videos, to the documents and forms, we can provide that for you through our Millionaire Blueprint. But if you know you're not just a do-it-yourselfer, you really need some coaching and accountability, we have a coaching program. It's called the Millionaire Mentorship Program. It's a one-year program. It's an extraordinary program. We provide weekly coaching calls. We give you 1 year access to our online training programs. We provide workshops throughout the year to help you with your sales, your marketing, your operations, your financials. We train you on how to become a consultant and coach and build a real legitimate coaching business. We train you on a lot of the operational processes that you need to have in your company for your KPIs so that you can start measuring the activities of yourself and of your team. We train you on these things and we coach and mentor you on them, and we give you a year to dial in on them and to work them into your business. So all you have to do is text the word millionaire to 678-276-8253. Please do me a favor. If you haven't already, please do me a favor. If you don't do nothing else, be sure to leave a comment, to leave a takeaway. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, on TikTok. Someone asked, is this pre-recorded? No, it's not. I am live. It's not pre-recorded. It's not pre-recorded. We had some pre-recorded videos running for the last couple weeks because, as you see, I'm still working on getting my studio updated, and we had just relocated here recently. So we had a lot of work going on the last couple weeks. I traveled out of town 2 or 3 times, so I had a lot going on within the last couple weeks. So we were not live Monday through Friday for the last couple weeks. We did have some pre-recorded videos going on, but now, yesterday and today, we have been live. So today is Tuesday, March the 21st. It's 12:50 p.m. in the afternoon, in the middle of the workday, and I'm right here giving you the game. So we're live every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. We were live yesterday. We're live today. We'll be live tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully Friday, because we're hosting a headquarter day. If you are anywhere near Metro Atlanta, this Friday and this Saturday, we're hosting 2 live events here this Friday and Saturday, March the 24th and 25th. We're hosting a headquarter day, a HQ day. This is a concept that I adopted from my mentor. And we're hosting a coaching boot camp, a boot camp for coaches and consultants this Saturday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be giving you the game. I'm telling you, what I'm giving you, I know it works. I know it works. It's working for me. If I didn't have success, I wouldn't be this, brash and confident about it. So I appreciate all of you, but please give me like a big takeaway. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from today's show. And not just me, but give someone else that comes behind you an opportunity to see what your thoughts were about today's show. So put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from today's show. Share it with family members and friends. If you know people who are struggling financially, if you know entrepreneurs that don't have their businesses together, but you know they have a passion to be successful, why do you keep this information from them? Why don't you connect them with someone who can help them succeed? I want you to share this with them, whoever it is that you know. If you're not comfortable sharing it with them, reach out to me, give me their name and number and email. I'll reach out to them and let them know you gave me their information because you believe in them and you want them to succeed. I'll be more than happy to get on the phone and call to let them know we have what it takes to help them, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so I really need your support. We have about 8,500. We need about 1,500 more people to subscribe to my YouTube page for us to get to 10,000. My son, he's a full-time employee for our company. He's my social media manager. He's a content creator. He's the cameraman as well. He has multiple roles that he plays in our company. And my son, if he wants a lot of things from me, but one thing he wants from me is he wants me to have at least 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like, he really wants me to have 1 million, but he's like, Pop, let's just get to 10,000 first. He wants to get me to 10,000 on YouTube. He wants to get me to 10,000 on Instagram. So we have about 8,500 subscribers on YouTube. We need 10,000. So we need your subscriptions. We have about 8,500 followers on TikTok. We need your follow on TikTok. We have about 3,000 followers on Instagram. So we need like 7,000 to get to 10,000. But we pushing. We working every day. We're doing what we need to do to bring value to you. And so we appreciate you. All right. I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining the show. We will be back. Same place, same time, tomorrow, right here with my squad, live from the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, 12 o'clock noon Eastern on the Ramon Preston Show. Don't meet me here, beat me here tomorrow.